I just have to make sure it goes live before I flip over. Well, and one time it went live and I didn't wait, and for some reason the mute wasn't off. And when that happens, I get all this crazy feedback. So okay, here we go. Everyone's gonna get admitted. Good morning. My name is Judge Person. Welcome to the Temple Municipal Court. I do want to thank everybody for being here and thank you for your time. I am the judge of the court, again, Judge Person, and I will review a few things before we get started. We have two dockets meeting this morning, my regular docket and the pretrial docket. The pretrial docket is for folks who have pled not guilty, and that means that you're contesting your charge, and ultimately, when you plead not guilty, you're asking that your case go to trial. So today is an opportunity to discuss your case with the prosecutor if you wish. You don't have to give information to her, you may. She does represent the state of Texas in these matters. Her name is Nicole Warren, and she is on screen. I will create a breakout room in just a moment, and you'll go in the order that you arrived. Good morning, Ms. Warren. You'll go into that breakout room in the order that you arrived, okay? Before we do that, I want to give you some basic information. This is a Class C court. The cases that are filed here are Class C offenses. They result in the imposition of fines and costs. They do not result in jail time. The time or the point that we seek jail time or warrants for cases here have to do with not showing up on time, not meeting your court agreements, okay? So if I make a court order and you fail to complete your court order, you can then be issued a warrant, okay? But it is not customary to issue a warrant or to arrest or assess jail time unless a person has failed to complete their order and then, more importantly, not communicate about it. So with that in mind, you know, there are times, let's say you set up a payment plan, for example, and then you find, I can't do this payment plan, I've lost my job. That happens. And people, when that happens, people, you know, it's not as if they planned that. They just didn't know that was going to happen to them. So what I'm going to tell you is if you find that you can't meet the demands of your payment, of any court order, because that includes other things as well, you need to get into the court through email. That's probably your best method. Or you can call and get information, but you can't appear by phone because anyone could call on your behalf and that wouldn't necessarily be good. So we allow information, but we don't allow appearance that way. It must be in writing. If you mail a letter, you need to call and make sure we received it. The duty is yours to do that. If you send an email and you don't get a reply, you need to check on that, you know. So keep up with it as if you could be arrested, because you could, you know. If you see that you can't do something that you thought you could do, we need to know as soon as you know, okay? Don't wait for us to ask you, because at that point, one, you're getting too late, and two, I have more limits the longer you wait on how much I can accommodate. And I will try to be helpful if I can. If the law lets me, I will extend that to you if you're doing your part to the extent that you're able, okay? So just keep all of that in mind as you proceed forward. There's a duty here on your behalf to do things for yourself, all right? We can help you know, but we can't do for you. All right. So let me just back up a little bit. When you're given a ticket or issued a citation, these are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation, and you're presumed not guilty. When you come to court, you have three options for entering a plea. A plea, functionally speaking, a plea is your answer to that accusation. It's how you respond to that accusation. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead guilty, you are saying, I did this. If you plead not guilty, you're contesting the charge. If you plead no contest, You're allowing me to find you guilty without saying I did or didn't do it. Now, if you plead guilty or no contest, we're going to move forward today. And there are some options that I want to talk to you about. If you plead no contest, please excuse me. I'm sorry, I have an emergency call. It will take 1 minute, maybe 2. My apologies. I'm sorry. I have a little bit of a, just like we all do, sometimes you have a family thing. So anyway, getting right back to it. If you plead guilty or no contest, there are some options available that will still allow for a dismissal. If you plead not guilty, we're moving that case toward trial. So we don't have options for that. That's just the way the law works. If you disagree, and you're free to do that, then we're moving forward toward trial. The first setting is a Zoom setting, and that is meeting today for folks who are scheduled that way. If the case isn't resolved, we have a live meeting, usually in several weeks, and that should have already been set up, okay? If you don't think that happened, we'll try to remind you of the date. If we need to do that, I'll remind you. But check your paperwork and see. That next setting is a live setting because at that point, we're assuming that we're going to trial and we're moving in that direction and looking at a bond and looking at, what kind of trial. Are there other matters that we need to resolve prior to trial? Because the law allows certain things to happen at certain levels and layers, okay? So we're just kind of walking you through that at that point. If you plead guilty or no contest, there's still 4 ways to gain a dismissal. Let me tell you what those are so you know. And these are the options. There aren't hidden options for the people who know the right thing to say, okay? We try to avoid that because most of us will represent ourselves in a court like this one. And I find it better if people understand and communication is a little more clear. People know their options. That's going to work a lot better for everyone involved, including me. So not trying to hide anything. Transparency, I find, is very, very important. So if sometimes you can get something dismissed because you can bring it up to date and get it dismissed. Okay, so that's called a compliance dismissal. And a compliance dismissal, that's for things like registration charges, like your vehicle isn't registered. If something's expired, sometimes it'll apply. If equipment is faulty, like your tires are bald, your brake lights are out, those are often things we can get to a dismissal. A lot of times people come to court and they didn't know that was the case. So if you didn't know and you're eligible, but for you haven't done it yet, I might grant you an extension, for example. But then you've got to come back and be on time or you miss it because all of those hinge on being on time to court. There are always rewards for people who show up early or on time, okay? The next way, and actually in line of that, the law is pretty clear that I should let you know those things. So I'll tell you, okay? You're welcome to ask. I'm not going to wait for the question. I'm going to move forward with that. Another option would be with a moving violation, such as speeding. If you have a moving violation, you can take a driver's safety course if you qualify to be in that program. And you can gain a dismissal and you actually save money and you keep the item off your record. Let me explain a little bit about money and tickets, okay? Tickets all have a court cost and a fine associated with them, okay? The court costs are set by state law. The fines are set by the judge. Okay, so in the context of a driver safety course option, if you qualify, and I'll pre-qualify you and see if you're eligible, and again, you had to have been on time. You cannot have a CDL. It has to be a Texas license, or if you're active military or active military dependent, then you can do the program. You can't have gone in the previous 12 months for purposes of getting a ticket. And we date that from the date of this ticket to the date of the last class. Okay, so if you qualify, and I'll go back through that with each person as it becomes relevant. I start with on time. In terms of that, if you get that program done, you pay the court cost, okay? And then you have a window to get back a driving record and a class. okay? And you have to take the right kind of class, and you have to take the right, get the correct driving record, and you turn them in on time. The fine, the whole time this is happening, your fine, you didn't pay it. It's on hold, okay? And if you get your information in on time, I dismiss your ticket and I waive the fine because I have control of that one. See how that works? Okay, so it's always very, very logical if you really drill down, okay, and it's supposed to be. So driving safety, we encourage it where we can because, well, in part because we can't force you to take a class, okay? If people don't want to take a class, you can't make them take a class, all right? But what we know from statistics, and this has been clear for 2 decades now, if you take the class and you complete that process, you move into a safety bracket that is healthier for you. What we know is that when people get a ticket, they move into a higher bracket of death and injury on the highway. Texas is the #1 state to get hurt. Texas is the #1 state to get killed. And that is not simply because we have more people. It's actually when you adjust those numbers for how many people, like a pro rata distribution, we got them beat, and it's unfortunate. I love the state, but we have this issue. If you're a young person, meaning 25 and under, you're in the #1 bracket for death and dismemberment on the roadway in the nation, including Hawaii and Alaska, okay, and the territories. So really, once you take that class, it's not exciting. It's not terribly interesting. It's not that bad, honestly. People make fun. But once you finish it, you actually do move into the higher, safer bracket of people, of drivers out there. So we're gonna push that a little bit too. The good part too is even though you pay money for the class and the record and the court costs, it's still cheaper than the ticket. Okay, so you save money, you keep it off your record. You can do that on guilty or no contest. Okay, and then the third way to gain a dismissal would be, and I always say where those other two don't apply or work, we can look at a deferred option. A deferred option, you're normally paying the cost of the item, of the ticket. I do have to look at people's finances there and see what's really going to work for them, and I do that individually. So if you have not filled out a payment application, it really would help me if we're going in that direction to get it. I'm going to have to get that information. And it's available on the website. And also, we usually send them to you. And often we get those back. Sometimes we don't. That might be a delay if we need to get that back. But when you do a deferred disposition, it means just what it says, but let me translate. Deferred means delay. Disposition means to make final, dispose of. So we delay making the case final. We put an order in place. It's written. It lists everything you're required to do to gain a dismissal. Okay. And at the end of the period of time, if you've done everything that you were ordered to do and you did it on time, I sign a dismissal. Okay. We do have to sort out payment. We have to have an honest conversation about that. We also sometimes require a class because guess what? It's a safety issue. We also sometimes need a record. Sometimes we need, if you're a student, we need information about your school. How are things going? Are you staying enrolled? Those kinds of things. But with a deferred disposition, if you successfully complete it, you keep the item off your record. Okay. Now, here's the trick. Okay. Want to learn the secret handshake? The secret handshake in a Class C court is that you can ask for a deferred at the time of your plea. So guilty or no contest, but I'd like a deferred. That's all you have to know. Now, you can ask a Class C court judge directly for a deferred. When you go to a Class B or greater court, you have to ask the prosecutor first. And I explain that because if you've ever gone over to the county and sat through proceedings, you watch that happen. Or you might have been told, lawyers will tell me this too. You've got to talk to the prosecutor. You can talk to the prosecutor and she's here, but you don't have to talk to the prosecutor about that. You can ask the judge. It's an exception under the ethics rules that judges can do that in a Class C court because we do a lot more cases than those courts. And Ms. Warren can tell you that. So what I'm going to tell you is you can ask Ms. Warren, you can ask me. The judge will ultimately have to sign off on it, There are a handful of cases where the prosecutor, I require her input. That's my policy. If you have something like that, I'll just explain what we're doing, okay, and why. And it would have to do with certain classifications of victims, okay? And then finally, those are the 4 ways to gain a dismissal, 3 ways. The 4th way is if you're a high school student, we have a teen court option, and Temple Teen Court is an active teen court. It looks a bit like a deferred at this time, but it shifts the burden of correction onto the young person with support and help from family, but they are doing the majority of the actions that need to be taken at that point, okay? And that's because what we know is if a parent just comes in and takes responsibility for a young person, I'm going to see that young person again, okay? If they take responsibility and take actions, I'm less likely to see them. And teen courts work. They are statistically very successful in terms of what we call recidivism, reoccurrence. So we'll be pushing teen court as well. All right. So those in the pretrial docket, as you came in, I watched people pile in on the entry room, and I'll now be taking you in the order that you appeared. And I have a couple of people to see. First, I have Angelica Maldonado. Then I have Jeffrey Clark. On the pretrial docket, I just want to check a few things out because I've got a few folks who I have not been able to identify. Let's see. Young lady with her father, it would appear, and I have forgotten your name, but you're titled Zoom user. I'm actually going to ask you real quickly to unmute. You should get a request that says great. And tell me your name, please.
Marisol Bautista.
Okay, Miss Bautista. I remember faces, but I meet a lot of people each and every day. I don't always remember names. I'm going to go ahead and label you by your name for purposes of this meeting so that we don't lose track of you, okay? Great. And then I've got one more, and it's on a phone. It says Davos iPhone. And I want to find out, and I've asked you to unmute. If you're labeled Davos or Davos, could you please tell me your name?
Davion Sargent. That's me right there in the corner. Like,
okay,
it's just
yeah,
my
I already have you in. Okay,
yes, mom.
you were actually first. So great. I'm just going to go ahead and label your phone so I don't lose track because I might need to put you and the phone in that meeting together, and you're on the pretrial doc. Okay, thank you very much. All right, got it. So that should be. I think I've got everybody else figured out. Just if I call this your name right now, could you raise your hand? Anyone here for Shakira Bennett? I show her not here. And Carl Bradley Jr. I don't see anybody. I'll mark them gone or not here. This is the kind of thing where you can wind up with a warrant. You don't want to do that. But everybody else is here. So that's good news. Okay, and then on the pretrial docket, the order that I'm taking this is Davion Sargent, and then we have Katrina Hughes, Lisa Gentile, Jose Godines, Gretchen Garvin, Gretchen Garvin, Christopher Rogers, Alareza Nathani, Jose Rentiera Sandoval, Michelle Ricks, and Marisol Bautista. Okay, please don't message me privately. I've been getting this a lot lately, asking me to bump you up in line. We're going to work with everybody and be fair to everyone. Okay, we're just going to take it the way that we're taking it. That's why I went ahead and read that out. Okay, so I'll now create an extra room, and Ms. Warren will actually go into that room and visit with you. Let me try to make that happen. Oops, nope. Sorry, something odd. Everybody went into another room. It just did that. I'm going to close those rooms. I don't know what happened. Never had that one happen before. It's making me give it a minute. It put everybody in a breakout room. I must have clicked something. That's the only way that could have happened, but I've frankly never had that happen before. Strange. Hold on just a moment. And it's not letting me send them back out. So hold on. Just don't join it if you got an invite. It sent everybody an invite. Yeah, that would help. You can go in and just type to them or whatever and say, but it's actually closing that room now. Don't worry, it'll close. It just doesn't do it automatically. Okay, all right. For reasons unknown, I just created a room and everybody got an invite. Hold on just a moment. Okay. Great. All right, here we go. Huh. Strange. Okay. It's making me very strange. Well, I don't even want to describe it. It'd take longer to explain. Um, no. Okay. Let me just delete all the rooms and start over. Okay, starting again. There we go. I see what I did. Okay. There we go. Okay, Ms. Warren will receive an invitation. And then Mr. Sargent, let me remember to send you both your phone and you. It may take it, I don't know. But if not, then accept on both fronts. Okay, you should have gotten an invite, Mr. Sargent, for both. Very good. Okay, I see what I did. There's something that got checked that shouldn't have. Okay, Angelica Maldonado, let me get your file pulled up. Give me just a moment. And while I do that, I'm going to ask you to start video and ask you to unmute. Okay. Morning, Ms. Maldonado.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm well.
Good. Okay. We have one case that has a balance, and I just give me one quick moment. Are we on time on that one? Okay, and that was for Mr. Clark. I'm going to put your screen on silent. You need to take care of personal matters outside of the view of everybody, okay? I'm sorry, but legs open, doing your nose. Do that privately, please. Anyway, so we had a theft intervention class. Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay, so the last Zoom appearance, we reset you to April, and you were supposed to come sign for that and get the class information
Mhm.
so that we could look at the possibility of dismissing that theft charge. And then you were going to be assigned. What happened with the payment plan? Is it on time? Okay. Okay, and then there's a balance on your other case of $46. Let's start there because it might be simple. Can you pay that balance today?
I'm not able to pay it today. I
Okay.
am able to pay it on Saturday.
Okay,
Or
well, we're not open Saturday, so it'll be Monday.
Monday, yes.
Okay, let me get that date pulled up real quickly. Okay, my apologies, pulled the wrong file. You're not due to pay that until April 1st. So anytime between now and then will be fine, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's cross that off the to-do list, all right? What happened that you didn't come in to sign off for your theft information?
I don't know what happened, but I know I did come because I have the paperwork. It's just in boxes right now because I am currently moving.
No, so
But I
you're
did
saying that you
come
came to the
because
clerk's desk, signed for a continuance, and they gave you a copy, but they don't have a copy and they don't have any record of your being here?
yes, ma'am.
I don't
Because
think
I
so.
had to
I
bring,
think you're
I had to,
confused. What? You think so? Oh. Oh, okay. Well, has that been fixed? Okay. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. My apologies, Ms. Maldonado. Um, let's get back on track with that, okay? Count her as on time then. Give her the benefit of the doubt. If there could be a mistake, we absorb that mistake every time. Okay. There may be a mistake, and if it is, whether it is or not at this point, I'm counting it in your favor, okay? I don't need to know further. I don't need you to dig through a box, okay?
yes,
Let's get you back on track. First question I have is, if I email you, I see you're in Temple, but it's either way. I can email you information if you can sign it and get it back to us today. You can drop by and sign it at the window and get copies that way too. Can you want to come by, or are you able to print and scan back over?
I'm able to come by.
Okay, we're just going to start over and give you another 30 days. Okay, April 26th on the class. All right, on that payment, it's still April 1st. Okay, but
Okay.
let's go ahead and just back up and get back on track, because there seems to have been confusion. And if it was on our side, well, we take care of that in your favor. Okay. So, and the clerk we're honest here, and the clerk is assuring me that it's possible. So with your particular case. So let's just move forward and get you back on track. Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Thank you.
yes, I'm infinitely reasonable. I'm rescheduling you for that class to be turned in April 26th. And I know from what you've told me, I've read through it, things are pretty tight, but let's get that class in so that we can entertain the dismissal, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you still working?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, because all I really got was, you're at spare time, but I didn't get any bills that you owed. You are working and you don't have bills right now, but maybe your family's going through a tough time.
Mm-hmm. Right now I am currently, excuse me, sorry,
Yes.
helping pay rent and the internet bill.
Okay. On her other charge, is the remaining balance a fine? How many hours do you have at your job?
At most I can work 40 hours. Right now I am currently at 28
Okay.
and I'm going in today.
Okay. All right. So with a little time, you're going to be okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. We'll have everything. Uh, at the front desk for you. And yes, keep copies, okay? But I'll make a note about the other issue, okay? And we have addressed it. Okay, thank you, Ms. Maldonado. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. It's just exactly what we talked about before. Pick a theft class, get it done, get a certificate, turn it in before your due date, and I'll sign a dismissal, okay?
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Warren is still talking. No. Yeah, she is. Mr. Sargent is somehow not in that ring. I guess he just went. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Mr. Clark, I'll ask you to start video and unmute, sir. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. Probably be pretty good at it. Okay. So there's a driver's license charge and the fail to yield charge. And I granted community service back in October, and it was 24 hours of community service due December 21st. And we just have not heard from you. So we scheduled this hearing in order to see why we're off track, see if we can get back on track, because I would prefer to do that and not sign some sort of warrant. Tell me what's happened, please.
I got the COVID-19. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't
Okay.
even leave the house.
Well, I get that, but you look pretty good now, and it's been a couple of months since then, and we haven't heard from you. So,
I don't have a phone. I got a phone, but I don't have no time. I don't have that kind of money. I'm on a fixed income.
right, but you're living literally not very far from here, and you can drop a letter, you can go online like you're doing now and email us. You need to communicate to avoid a
I
warrant.
don't know. This is my first time ever doing something like this.
Right, right. But I would think that you would be paying attention. And I see the problem partly is that you're talking when I'm talking, and I'm trying to tell you, you need to follow up. Okay? I mean, it doesn't just go away if you ignore it. It turns into a warrant. Okay?
Well, this is what I want to do.
Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, I don't know what's happening on your end, but I'll mute you for now and come back to you when I see that it's working better. You appear to be frozen, and I may have to remove you from the meeting. We'll see. I'll be right with y'all. He left the meeting. I'll hold on to it for the meeting, and that's it. I don't see a reason to extend him without a better. I mean, I'm tired of looking at his crotch, to be honest. Okay, Ms. Warren, thank you. Mr. Sargent, I'm going to ask you to unmute in whatever is best for you, whichever way works best. Probably you don't want to unmute on both. Just unmute the phone probably, but okay. Ms. Warren, it's a theft charge. Have y'all been able to discuss it? Are we heading to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Your
No,
Honor,
Let Ms.
The
Warren
theft
speak.
class?
Mr. Sargent, just one moment. Let me hear from Ms. Warren quickly, and I'll
Yes,
give
ma'am.
you a chance to.
Mr. Sargent will take the theft prevention class,
Okay,
and I want to make that due date by his next court date, but we
okay,
weren't sure when his next court date is. Can you
okay.
let me know?
May 5th at 3 p.m.
Okay, so his certificate will be due by May 5th.
Okay. Can we try to get that in, Mr. Sergeant, by May 4th?
Yes, ma'am.
That way you can avoid having to drive over here.
Okay.
But if it isn't due till the 5th, so if you walk in with it, well, we'll handle it then. But if you get it here earlier, everything will happen faster. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
So once I complete the class, do I still have to come up there to like show the certificate, or I can do everything online?
You can do it online, but if I don't have it by May 5th, you're due here.
Okay.
Hold on just a moment. He's not set for May 5th for his final patron. He already signed for that court date. Yeah. Okay, so let me get everybody wrapped up together. You're already scheduled for May 5th at 3. So you don't have to sign anything today, but we have information that we need to send you so you know the class options you have. The email we
Yes,
have on
ma'am.
file for you, will it work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's good. You just email him the class information. All right. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sergeant. Ms. Warren, I'm going to, and Mr. Sergeant, I'll go ahead and remove you unless you have further questions. But if you don't receive everything from us today, within the next hour, call and check on it. It should be coming to your email shortly. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Ms. Warren, I will move, you may move back to the room, and the person coming your way is Katrina Hughes. And Ms. Hughes, you should receive an assignment request and you just accept it. It'll bounce you in there, and then you always have to come back in here before you leave for the day, okay? Mr. Clark is the only other person I have to work with. I'll try again. He's wanting back in. But I'm gonna ask him to cover himself up if he can't manage it. Mr. Clark, are you asking for an extension? Mr. Clark, you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Are you asking for more time?
What it is, I'm pleading not guilty.
No, you've
I'm-
already entered. No, sir. No, sir. You entered a plea back in October, and
Well,
we've already done that. I'm not going to
you-
argue with you. I'm not going to argue that with you.
I just read
No,
the
sir.
paper.
I'm not going to argue with you. You entered a plea in October. I took your plea and found you guilty. I ordered community service. You didn't turn it in. The next step is either you get an extension and you get your service done, or you get a warrant and you can go sit it out in jail if you don't want to do your community service. The other option would be to pay it. What I'm going to tell you is that if you want an extension, you need to make a written request today at the clerk's desk by noon. We are located here at the court. You've been here before, but we are at 401 North 3rd Street. And if you make a written request, I will grant it and give you 30 more days before I sign that warrant. Okay, but you must sign for and request an extension. I will not argue my rulings with you. They've already been made. I'm removing you from the meeting. If you come back into this meeting, I want you to change the image that you're displaying to the court, and I don't want to put you on video and see your crotch again. I think what I want to say there is, if he makes a request, I'm extending his show cause. Yeah. Yeah, he can turn it in by the show cause date, because otherwise he's gonna go straight to more, and I'm done. Okay. He's not coming back in. Fun times. So at this point, I'm just doing paperwork. If you have any questions, I can't give legal advice. I will tell you, you've seen, if you enter a plea, we move forward with that plea. And you don't come back in a month and say it's a different plea. That's not going to work out. Okay, so pleas are final. We make some allowances. For example, if you plead not guilty and you talk to the prosecutor and change your plea and want a sentencing option, we often will work with you on that. But once you're found guilty, you're found guilty. You're not found unguilty later. It just won't work, So that's why I explain everything. Okay. So if you have questions, again, I can't give legal advice, but I can tell you cause and effect. I can tell you, if you do this, this is what happens. Okay. So if you have a question, feel free to, there's a button, you can raise your hand or, wave, and some people don't know how to use the buttons. That's okay. Yes, Ms. Garvin.
I'm actually sitting in my car in the parking lot of my job, and I need to go to the restroom really bad. Do I just press stop video and then whenever I come back, share video again?
Yes, and we try to, like, if you were here, you'd be allowed to go to the bathroom, right? So
Yeah.
we just try to treat it like regular court. So that's appropriate. Yeah. Good
I just
question.
wanted to make sure that if I press stop video that it wouldn't end my thing. I'm here.
It shouldn't.
Okay.
If you get kicked out, I don't actually close the meeting. I leave it open and you can apply to get back in until the meeting is over for everybody. But it shouldn't disconnect you. But if it does, just log back on. Okay. You're fifth down, so you probably have time to do that. Yeah. She's
Okay,
on
thank
2.
you.
So you probably have time to do that. Yeah. And you won't lose your place. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, good. I do have a young man coming into court today that I'm checking in with because he's on a probated sentence, and he is not able to do online. He's, I think he's, he's an HMR person, and it just doesn't work for him to do it online. So you're going to watch me interact with somebody, you probably won't see them. So just be patient with me. We can let Paul know he can come in. Oh, Miss Warren, great. Let me just get Miss Hughes' file. Let's see. There is Miss Hughes. Thank you, Miss Hughes. Thank you, Miss Warren. On the speeding charge, are we moving to trial or something else?
Your Honor, Ms. Hughes does want to take advantage of the defensive driving course to keep it off her record.
Okay,
This was a school zone, so she would need to pay the court costs according to that.
what are the court costs, clerk? They are $169. The remaining amount is a fine, and that would go on hold, as I described earlier. Ms. Hughes, can you pay that today and also show license and insurance?
Yes.
Okay. We need you to come by to do that, and I see you are in Temple. Can you come before 1 o'clock?
I actually have a broken leg.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so that's
So can we
Oh.
email it to you and have you print it and sign it and then pay online or by phone?
yes. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, you can get those forms back to us before noon?
Mhm.
Okay, we'll email to you and you email back, sign everything, read it. If you have any questions when you email, it's the same email where we did the meeting from,
Okay.
courtonlinehelp@templetx.gov.
So they'll email me and then I can take over everything from there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, we'll send it to you. If you don't get that within the hour, call in and see what's going on, but it should
Okay.
be there shortly, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Have them scan from the front and send it to you, what they do and send it to you. There's a way that we mail it to people. They'll know. Somebody out there is going to know, probably Aaron. Miss Warren, I'm going to move you further into, or you'll join, you'll be joined by Lisa Gentile. So let me get Miss Gentile geared up to go into that room. And Miss Gentile, just remember you're coming back in here when that's over. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Hi, Mr. Hall. How are you today? I'm well, thank you. Really, I wanted to just kind of review everything and make sure we're staying on track. Sure. Come on up. How are you? Good, good. Don't be nervous.
Okay.
You're always nervous here. You don't need to be nervous, okay? You're not in trouble.
Okay.
You were a long time back.
What?
You were a long time back when we first met,
Yeah.
okay?
Not anymore.
No, you've been doing well.
Yes.
Yeah. I have seen you out there
Yeah.
interacting a bit with traffic. Just make sure you stay on that sidewalk
Okay.
where you can't get hurt. When you distract people, it
Yeah.
really shocks them and surprises them.
Yeah.
And I think people just don't want you to get hurt.
But I'm doing better.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I haven't seen you too much.
Yeah.
And I know you want people in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like people.
Right. Yeah, you're very social.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
What you reading? Oh, wonderful. Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a fun book. I've read that book.
This one?
Yes.
Wow, this is that one?
Not that exact book copy, but I've read that story.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Let me check your order and make sure everything's good, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Your brother waiting for you?
I'm gonna take a bus back.
Okay, good.
And actually, but this is the last time I'm gonna be here because
Yeah.
this ends May 14th.
That's right.
So I won't be back.
That's right. And in May, as long as you haven't had any more trouble,
Okay.
then I sign that dismissal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
May 14th.
Yes, I think so. Let me get a copy and make sure. I think everything's good. We were just checking in today.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Just
you're
pray
welcome.
for me.
I do.
Thank
I
you.
certainly do pray for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And when I see you, I pray for you immediately because I get scared.
Thank you.
But I watched you a few
Yeah.
times.
It's amazing how everybody knows me here.
Yeah, I watched you a few times and I made sure you weren't doing something you weren't supposed to. And you are distracting people. And I want you to work on just a wave and not too big because they
Okay.
think you're going to fall in the street, you
Yeah.
know. But I watched you cross the road and you did a very good job and you got onto the sidewalk
Yeah.
before you waved.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm
So
doing better.
yeah, I think so. Okay. And just a reminder, don't lean into traffic or step in the road or walk in the road, okay? And did you ever try to call the Unincluded Club?
They never got to me.
Okay. Well, maybe when this is all over, we'll go together, okay?
Okay.
All right. That became a suggestion because he had difficulty with it. Okay, I think we're doing well. May 18th is our last day.
May 18th?
May
Oh, I thought
18th.
it was the 4th.
I can print it for you.
Okay.
Print it.
Oh, I thought you said the 4th.
No, I think we were going to talk on that day, but I don't think we need to unless something goes
No,
wrong.
I don't think we did either.
Yeah, but here we go. Thank you. Yeah, right here, okay? I'll just highlight it for you. Okay,
Okay,
all right.
thank you. Dr.
Thank
Burton.
you. You stay well.
So, would that come back again?
You don't need to come in that day.
I
That's
know.
just the final day, and I'll look at everything and make sure you didn't get any more charges or
Okay.
complaints, okay?
And so I had a question. So I don't come back anymore?
No,
So I'm done?
yes.
Okay.
But you still have to do all the good behavior,
Yes, ma'am.
and preferably forever, but at least until May 18th, okay?
Okay. So.
But after May 18th, I don't want to see you either,
Okay.
getting in trouble,
Okay.
okay?
So today I'm confused.
Mhm.
So on this day at 10 a.m. at 10 o'clock in the morning, I don't have to be here.
No,
Okay, because I don't want to think in the future I have to be here. I don't want to forget.
right. If I was making you come in, I would write it down on here. You would see the date.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't.
No, because see, you came in,
Yeah.
okay? And remember then you came in.
Yeah.
So, we did those dates, but
Okay.
this is the final date, and it would say at 10 a.m. if I needed to.
Okay.
It doesn't.
So before that day, I don't come in.
Right.
Even after that, I don't come in, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Thank you. You stay well.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay out of traffic, okay? Bye-bye.
Unmute.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Warren. Thank you, Ms. Hughes. No, sorry, Ms. Gentile. Excuse me. Thanks. Okay, very good. Now, let's proceed. And on the case with Ms. Gentile, do we have a resolution? Or are we heading to trial?
Your Honor, Ms. Gentile will take the defensive driving course and pay the court cost. It wasn't a school zone, it's just a regular
134, is that right? Okay. 144.
144. Okay. And I am dismissing the no insurance charge based on the proof that was provided.
Okay. All right, I'll look to sign that today at some point. And Ms. Gentile, are you able to pay that today and show license and insurance?
Yes.
Okay. And we can do that with you through the email, but I think that once you pay it, they send it to you. I'm now learning
can-
the last one I'm wrong. So
Should I come in? I can come in.
that's the easiest way to do it. and
Okay.
then you know you've got everything, but we want to work with you, and I see you're over in Heights.
Yes, no, I'm gonna come there. I have no problem.
Okay, when should we look for you?
I'm just gonna head on out in probably a half hour
Okay, great. We'll
and
look
then
for
come
you.
there.
Yes, when you get here, we have a call-in process, and we'll bring
Okay.
you. Okay.
Okay, and the address is on the email that you sent me? Okay.
It should be, but it's 401 North
Uh-huh,
North 3rd Street.
3rd Street. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
What,
Hold on.
so I'm just,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
sorry. So I'm paying the 144 today. And
Yes.
then once I do the defensive driving and bring you everything way before the 90 days, what
That would be
happens?
good.
What happens with the ticket?
It gets dismissed and the remaining balance gets waived.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I will be there shortly.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Great. And now, Ms. Warren, your next person is Jose Godines, probably butchering that name, I'm sorry. But Mr. Godines, you'll receive an invitation to join Ms. Warren in the breakout room. Just accept it. Remember, you come back in here before you exit today. There we go. Go on that one. How can I help you, bailiff? Morning. No. I do think that Mr. Clark, who was in our meeting, might come into the building to seek an extension for his community service. He was extremely difficult to manage online, would not listen, kept showing his crotch, although it wasn't exposed. He had pants on. And when I muted his video, he had a big marijuana thing across the top. So I told him he couldn't come back in with all of that. And that I wouldn't just extend him. He had to make a written request because he pled guilty in October and now he's trying to have a trial. So he's just, I don't know if he's not following or being deliberate about it, the difficulty, but I muted him and explained, so we're done. Yeah, he might be difficult. So, yeah.
I got caffeine in there, but I got to put the house, it's gonna come and go and stuff, and see what you need.
Sure. Okay, thank you. I mean, honestly, I can't care about it, but people in the meeting probably really didn't even see any of that, so. Yeah. But no one else coming in physically. I just wanted to check in with Sergey before we got to the end. Yeah. Yeah. He's done really well. I mean, I know that he alarms people still, but I've watched him carefully and he's following the law. So he has not. No, he is. May not be forever, but hopefully we'll keep him safe a little longer. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back.
Judge,
Yes.
yes, I was wondering how long is my daughter on the line? Because she has to message the school. They have her twins, and they said that if she don't come to school, we have to go pick them up. And we told them that she was in court.
Right. You can have a court excuse for school, but I mean, court is court. It's just going to take as long as it takes.
Yeah, that's what she told them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Court.
Yes, I know.
We can email an excuse to you.
Okay, if y'all could do that, and she can email it to them right, as soon as she can get it, so they'll know that they're
Yes.
not telling stories or anything.
Okay.
You so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we email an excuse over to the Ricks? I would just give her till noon. It won't be done before then, but. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Warren and is it Godines or Godines?
Godines.
Godines, okay. Ms. Warren, are we moving to trial or are we heading to resolution?
Your Honor, we are headed to resolution. I've given Mr. Godines an opportunity to comply with the code enforcement requirements by his next court date, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, that's a live setting. And Mr. Godines, let me just make sure you have that date. May 5th at 3 o'clock. And what we'll say is you'll need to come in the courtroom, call ahead and see if the case has been dismissed or is resolved, but otherwise we'll have you come on in the courtroom that day.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Let me ask you, he is the property is on his name too? Can he be there in the court too?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah,
The
because
case
he's,
is yours though. He can't come instead of you.
oh, okay.
Okay?
Right. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Ms. Warren, we're now moving. Your next case is Gretchen Garvin. She stepped away for a moment and said she would put her video back on. There she is. She's ready. Okay, very good. So Ms. Garvin, just remember to come back into this room when you're done. Okay. Ms. Ricks, we're just working on that excuse still.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. No show on Bennett. No show on Bennett. What's that? Oh, that's okay. My dad always did that. What if Mr. Bradley didn't show up because he realized that he said he was working too many hours to take care of his dog, but he told me he didn't have a job. And he didn't. You never know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were supposed to figure it out since he couldn't be there. He couldn't get in there because he was working. It's not an excuse that I don't work in my house. No show. I'm assuming if there's a payment plan, we have it printed up with the stuff, right? Okay. Okay. Ms. Ricks, we have sent that excuse to your email. It should be arriving shortly.
Okay, thank you. What email?
The one you gave to us,
Okay. I'm not sure which one I gave to you.
Michelle Ricks 05, that one.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Ms. Roots pled pled no contest or guilty to the driver's license and failed to stop and give info charges. But she checked everything, and so I put it all on that one. Yeah, no, I know. I was wondering if we had any recommendations from upstairs on the teen court for the.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's fine. I just was trying to move things along. Okay. Is this from the last scene? How did she set for a pre-com? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to front load things. She's got 7 things in her case check. She did not. It's kind of, is Dana aware? So it may have been around that time she got on the 3rd, so she may not have known that at that moment. Maybe it took a day for us. Okay. And I told her your call. No. Yeah, no, but to me, not getting the information sheet doesn't mean we don't get a plea form and schedule them and have them sign for their hearing. I do know. We schedule people and they sign for it. Is the court administrator aware of the problems we're having? Was that the same clerk? Was it the same clerk? Gotcha. So people have forgotten their job. It's what? Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Ms. Warren, regarding Ms. Garvin, we have a driving while license invalid charge and a speeding charge. Are we heading to trial or resolution?
Your Honor, we are heading to resolution. I
Okay.
would like to give Ms. Garvin more time. She is in the process of getting a occupational driver's license, which will help her cure the speeding ticket from her record and the driving while license invalid.
Okay.
If her court date is in May, we probably need to move that out past maybe June or somewhere in the more distant future, just based on what she needs to get done.
Okay. So Ms. Garvin, I'm going to move your case and we'll send you, can we send it to you, have you printed and get us back an extension date for another pretrial on June 24th?
I'm sorry.
I need your signature today on a document. You can either come by and do that, or we can send it to your email if you can print it and get it back to us. It has to be a readable copy with your signature. Can you do that?
I can print it out and sign it. Is it okay if I turn it in tomorrow?
Try to take a photograph and email it to us today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just make sure we can read it. Okay.
I forgot about that. Yeah, print it out, sign it, take a picture of it, email it to you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, thank you, Ms. Warren. Thank you. Ms. Garvin, that should be in your email in the next 30 minutes or so. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We need it back today as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Warren, you're moving forward, and the next case on your list is Christopher Rogers. And Christopher Rogers, you'll want to accept the meeting request, and you'll have an opportunity to work with the prosecutor. Be sure and come back in this room when you're done. Only other thing I wrote on was with Ms. Garvin. I didn't do an analysis, and she's not indigent, so I pulled the other things out. After the Rogers case, which is meeting right now, we will have Alareza Nathani. So if you'll get ready. Ms. or Dr. Nathani. Yes. Yeah, I just felt like he would do a little better with face-to-face contact more often. Okay. Thanks. Okay, Ms. Warren, on Mr. Rogers' case, are we moving to trial or to resolution?
Actually, Your Honor, we have resolved the case. Mr. Rogers will pay $254 today, which makes his deferral period 90 days, and there is no class ordered.
Okay, and Mr. Rogers will need your signature on that back today. If we send that to you, can you sign and get it back to us without coming in?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Otherwise, you
Yeah.
can come in before noon.
No, that's okay. I can get signed and get it back to you.
Okay, we'll send that to you within the next half hour.
Okay,
Thank you.
and then I just have to get it to you before noon. Is that what?
That would be great. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. And the next case is Alareza Nathani. And I'm going to ask to start video there.
Sure.
And I'm sending that case to the breakout room. And then just remember, Doctor, to come back in at the end.
Sure.
Doctors are funny. They all do this, the list, just their yearly income. They all do it. It's funny. I don't know why. Just a funny trend I've noticed over the years. Okay. On the Nathani case, are we heading to trial or resolution?
Actually, Your Honor, Mr. Nathani did decide to take the defensive driving course.
Okay.
I believe the cost would be the 144.
Yes.
Okay.
Can Mr. Nathani, can that get paid today along with proof of insurance and license?
Yes.
Okay. We can email that to you. If you can scan the information back over to us, we can do that. We do need to get payment today. Does he need to call that in first and then we send the paperwork? Okay. Okay. Really, let's try to get that done. We'll email that to you here in a moment. And then you can call in payment or go online and do payment for the amount.
Sure.
And it will say the full amount. You just do the 144.
Got it.
Okay.
Is it possible to do this after 1 o'clock? I'm giving a lecture to some of my colleagues at 12, from 12 to
Yes.
1. Okay.
Yes, if we can get it by 4 p.m., that would be fine.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Ms. Warren, the person you're meeting with next is Jose Rentera Sandoval. And Mr. Sandoval, I'll send that meeting assignment over to you now. Just accept that invitation. I doubt you need my notes about him not being on the jet. No. Thank you. Okay, regarding Mr. Ventura Sandoval's case, are we moving to trial or are we moving to resolution?
Your Honor, I did not dismiss the case, but based on the information that was provided by Mr. Rentera, I did reduce the fine. And so his fine would be 200 instead of the 5. And then the cost is $313.80.
You mean the total or the court costs?
Yes, the total then would be $513.80 if my math is correct.
Okay, I'll double check that just because we have some fees that Mr.
Okay.
Ventura can't be reduced, and
Okay.
Ms. Warren's pretty accurate, but every now and then we have a fee that frankly, can't be adjusted. But the fine, I'll accept the change. Mr. Rentera, in light of that reduction, are you pleading guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
Okay. All right, I'll accept your guilty plea and do those reductions. We're getting that total now. You need more than 30 days to make payment.
No.
I'll recall your warrant as soon as I get your signature on an agreement to pay within 30 days. I need to get that today, your signature. Okay?
Okay. Can it be emailed to me? I live in
Yes.
South Carolina.
We'll email it to you, print it, sign it, and either scan it back to us or take a photograph that we can read and send it back to us.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
to make the full payment, do I gotta call the court or?
You can call the court or go online and make that payment then.
Okay, and if I make the full payment right now, do I have to sign that paper as well or no?
No, you don't.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and make the payment.
Okay. Yeah, give us a few minutes to make the adjustment so that it doesn't try to charge you the wrong amount. Okay?
Okay.
Just hold on a moment and let me get that done before I let you go. Ms. Warren, your next person is Michelle Ricks. Before I send her and her mother into the meeting room, I wanted to let you know that there are 3 cases. A unsafe speed for conditions, no license, and a failing to stop and give information. I think you have all that with you, and what you'll notice is on the license charge and the fail to stop and give information, there is a plea of guilty or no contest, but she also just checked off every box, and the case manager felt like it would be best for her to just talk about it, the whole thing to you, so that you can make a full decision. But I wanted to let you know there's not as much work there as it appears because there is admission on 2 of those charges. On the other, there might need to be maybe some education. I don't know.
Okay, and so I did want to ask if she qualifies for teen court.
She does.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Ricks and family, you'll be given an invitation to join that room. And just remember, you've got to come back in here before it's all done. Mr. Rentera, we're getting that reduction done before we let you go. Oh, thank you. So actually, Mr. Rentero, when we do the reductions, what happens is that we wind up with, percentage reductions on collection fees that you were put into. And so the good news is it actually comes to 423.80. Okay.
Okay.
So it's actually a little bit better than what you thought.
Yep.
That's not uncommon, but I'd rather under promise and deliver more than over promise and not get there. So now you'll be free to go online, and actually that payment will cancel the warrant completely.
Okay. Once I make my payment, my warrant will be off.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and make that payment.
Okay. There should be easy information on the website. If you need assistance, you can call in.
Okay.
Thank you.
If it's still at 800 or something, do I just wait for a little bit to?
It's already been adjusted. It should not
It's already
do
been
that.
adjusted.
Yes. You might have to log back in or refresh.
Refresh. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Back up and start over, and it'll be there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. After this, I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm running my son to the dentist. No, I mean, I'll just have to sit there the whole time, so I'll have my phone. I can email, but I can't look at files unless they're attached. It's on a tiny screen. Tomorrow I'll have a lot more left time. It's just been a bad. Yeah. Until somebody tells me otherwise. I can tell. Yeah, I know, because they want it to not be real. You have a wreck, you want to travel safely. Hey, go to court. An accident reconstruction is just going to show up. Was anybody else hit? I think somebody must have been hit. Do we know if insurance information was given eventually? Okay. I always try to get their insurance and send it to the victim. Okay, regarding the Ricks case, do we have a resolution?
We do, Your Honor. I think it boiled down to a question of law, the little nuances in the law. The questions that they had were very intelligent. And after weighing their options, Miss Michelle does want to go ahead and take the teen court on all of her tickets. So she's changing the unsafe speed for conditions to a no contest plea.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and move you into your next meeting and I will work with them. Did you have particular requests regarding teen court or would you ask the court to settle that out?
I will ask the court to just go ahead and settle that out in the best interest of Ms. Ricks.
I shall do so. Thank you. Ms.
Thank you.
Bautista, your family and you are going to be invited to the breakout room and you'll join Ms. Warren there. I think they'll go pretty quickly. I think they've got it sorted out. Might be having a little camera trouble. Okay, Ms. Ricks, yes, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, so with teen court, let's walk through what we're gonna ask you to do, okay? You're 15, are you in the middle of getting a license, like a hardship, or did you just jump the gun here?
My mom's trying to put me in a class so I can get my permit and then get my license. So I'm in the mix of doing that.
Okay,
How does she get a hardship?
right, you'll have to talk to the Department of Public Safety about that. Those rules change frequently, and I'm not the one who arbitrates that, okay?
Okay.
On teen court, we normally get fees on each case. Is anyone working in the home?
I'm working part-time and I get disability.
Okay, so normally it's $20 per case. I can drop that to $10 per case instead of the $694. Can we get that paid today?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think what would be good, have y'all already enrolled in a class yet? Have y'all looked to see what that, because the parent taught, we're not going to have time to do parent taught.
No, ma'am. We've called the Frost Driving School, and they have like
Okay,
April 26th. If they
April
still have
26th.
spots.
Say that last part again.
If they still have some spots. I hope they do.
Okay. See, I'm always reluctant to schedule an activity that we don't know is happening, right? But I also don't like to schedule people to do far too many things to really keep track of. And once
Yes.
you get enrolled in that class, you're going to be doing a number of things. So I think our best bet is I'll accept your pleas and put a hold on the cases. And we're going to come back in 2 weeks and do another meeting, and y'all can get a little bit more prepared, get enrolled. So
Okay.
we know that's happening.
Yes.
If we start going and you don't get enrolled and it's the next class, we're going to run out of time for teen court to be effective.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I do need you to sign for your recess, which is going to be April 8th. And I can email that to you. Can you print it at home and sign it and either scan it or send a picture of it back to us signed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll send that. And then what we'll do is you get ready. Okay. And we'll do that. And we'll also need to get your insurance.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me confirm the email that you used to log in today. Is that the email that you've been using with us?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We'll send that. We'll need it back pretty quickly. Can you get it back to us before you go off to school, Miss Ricks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then we'll plan to see you then. Get that back to us today or it cancels everything out. Okay.
Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Questions?
Do you have any questions?
Your next step is sign your paperwork, email in your insurance information to us or bring it by,
Yes.
and email in your enrollment forms, showing you're enrolled, and send that in to us too. And we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
How much do I have to pay?
$30.
Okay. Okay. Yes,
Do
ma'am.
they have to bring cash? So
What do we pay that?
10 for each. Okay. You're going to actually have to bring cash over to the building today.
Okay, that's no problem.
Okay. Yeah, I took it down from 20 because you're disabled.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that winds up court for the day. Sorry? Oh, thank you for stopping me. Oh my goodness.
So we're setting
For Zoom. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Zoom appearance, but not pre-trial review.
Correct. Yeah, good, yeah. I see your point.
I was like, wait, hold on. You're like, I could have heard what was going on.
Um,
And I'm like, we're live, I'm just gonna look over and turn this off now. Bye.
Lots of moving parts. We still have folks in the pretrial room, so yeah. Yeah, I think otherwise we would have crowded them to the point where they couldn't successfully complete. So on Rex here are the notes. Yeah, they're all recycled. Yes, she said they would. Put it at the front because I bet they think that's going to happen.
You know what, I'm just, yeah, you know what, yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, this business of not having a memo agreed description in the case jacket file. I'm just guessing every time I open a file. I'm guessing. I can't tell what's in there.
That's why I just go through the transaction history, and you can put an order by scan, so then you can it'll list everything that was scanned and then you can read the extra.
How do
It's
you,
there.
how do you put it?
So what you'll do is when you're here,
Mhm.
if you click that, it's gonna put it in the order. So now everything that was scanned is grouped together. And if they put a description, you should be able to see it there in transaction history.
Okay.
Those are my little shortcuts, because sometimes I just don't get time to do them.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Dude, it was 211.
Her enrollment in what class I'm sorry?
She's getting enrolled in a course to get her license, to get her permit. And that's just a condition to start the teen court. We're not doing, she's just extended. Because even if she doesn't provide that, she's got a court date to meet with me to talk about her teen court schedule. It'd be good to get a recommendation from Yolanda before then. Okay, regarding the Bautista case, Ms. Warren, are we moving to resolution?
Yes, Your Honor, after further consideration, Ms. Batista has changed her plea to no contest, and
Okay.
she'd like to take advantage of the teen program if she's eligible.
Yes, thank you. Ms. Bautista, are you enrolled in school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where do you go to school?
Temple High School,
What grade are you in there?
ninth grade.
Okay. With teen court, my first question will be, are you trying to get a permit at this time, or are you too early to do that?
You wait.
Um,
You wait till 16.
I think I'm gonna wait until I'm 16.
When do you turn 16? Next January.
Next January.
Okay. There are two $20 fees. Can we pay those fees today, $40?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then actually, we're going to make you take a class, a driver safety type class for safety.
Yes, ma'am.
But I want to ask you a question. What happened here? How did you have access to a vehicle? Whose car was it?
It was one of my brother's car that I had. That it was at home, and my mom was sitting in the kitchen and she didn't notice, so I had took the keys without her permission. She didn't know that I took the keys though.
Okay. So nobody knew you did this and then you had an accident, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there another driver involved?
No, ma'am.
What did you hit?
I had hit the person that was coming like in the bicycle.
Okay, what's happened with that person? Did they go to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am. The cop had came back to my house, the house, and had told us that he had a broken leg, so he had to go to surgery right away.
Okay. Do you know how that person is doing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So actually, I think I'm going to change what I want to do here. What I'd like to do, we can do teen court, and the fees are due today of $40. The next thing you're going to do is you take an online class in life skills, decision making.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll give you the link and you will have to pay for that class. The next thing you're going to do is write a 5-page apology to this person, including an understanding about what you learned from the class. So you're going to have to get the class done first, then do the 5-day apology.
Yes,
And then the final thing you're going to do is call the officer in question and ask to sit down and meet with him and find out what's happened to this person.
Yes,
You know,
ma'am.
I don't want you reaching out to the victim without the police officer being part of that. But you'll need to make an appointment. Who is our officer on this ticket? Okay, this is Officer Cook, Bobby Cook. And I'll send him a note letting him know that after you take your class and write your apology, you're going to talk to him. So I would say to you, you want to get this class done within the next 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
And call him and set up a time to meet with him quickly after
Yes,
you know
ma'am.
you're going to finish that class and write this letter out.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Because you're going to run out of time otherwise. There's not a lot of time with teen court. And I want everything. I want proof that you did these things. So a copy of your letter. I'll ask him to send me an email that y'all met and a copy of your certificate of completion by April 26th.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
also need a copy of your insurance. Is insurance taking care of the injuries here?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we need a copy of your family's insurance because you were riding in their vehicle, driving their vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those 4 things, and I need that all as quickly as you can get it to us, but not later than April 26th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We will send you the police phone number as well, but actually, I think probably you need to come by and sign off on this paperwork and pay the $40. So we'll have everything at the front desk. Can you get here before 1 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any objection from Madam Prosecutor?
No objections.
Okay. Anything that you would add?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Bautista, come on to the court. I'm going to remove you from the meeting and make sure when you read everything you're get listed to do that you understand what you're supposed to do. And if not, you ask questions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
I
you.
did have a quick question regarding the
Yes.
court.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a brother, but the
That's
court
fine.
May is canceled now, correct?
Yes,
Okay, just wanted.
that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and bring that
Good luck
insurance
to you.
with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything further from you, Ms. Warren?
Yes, so I need to give you all the defensive driving paperwork, right, and any dismissals. Do you need anything else from me?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All
Thank
righty.
you.
Thank you.